lot of changes. You're going 11-7.
Yeah, going 11-7. Yeah, but I want to put Clayson in. He did well for us, and the last game he played wasn't as good, but I thought the previous games were good, and I've been wanting to do that for a long time. I like to do that, and I think today with Clayson being healthy, all their D's being healthy, no one I want to take out, gives me the possibility to do that.
The argument's going to be that you're a team that hasn't scored in 2 games, that you should have all the offensive forwards you can, or is it more of a defensive thing you need to try and fix?
Or you can have Broussard on the 4th, and you can have Turris on the 4th, and you can have Stone on the 4th, which gives us another look.
Goaltenders?
Condon will be in, Hammond will be backing up, and Andy is looking better and better every day. He looked outstanding to me this morning, but we're not there yet.
You always go over every once in a while and go, how about now?
Yeah. No, he's looking really good now. It's fun to see, and the goalie coach told me that there's major increments every day, so it's good to see.
I know you weren't here last year, but what has Dion Phaneuf meant to your team? It's the 1-year anniversary since he's been dealt here, so I guess what's he do for you?
It was absolutely, I think, a necessary thing to do for the organization, and I know looking from afar, I thought it was a great move. I knew him before. I had him at the World Championships, and I knew in this team's a lot of young guys, and Eric having to take a lot of the pressure alone on his shoulders. I think Dion coming in last year was terrific, just like Kelly coming in this year. Those are intangibles that make all the difference in the world because they mature your team, and I think that connection, whether we see it in the room or off ice, now everybody knows that Eric is really good friends with Dion now, so they've created a great friendship, but also I think it helps Eric being able to share the leadership and not have the entire load on his shoulders, and somebody that's lived pressure situations before, it's been in winning situations before, somebody has same type of aura that Eric, as a young guy had, Dion had that same thing. So a lot of those steps, and it's funny because there's a lot of their personalities are similar, and so I think this is great for Eric to be able to bounce back experiences and ideas and sharing that leadership with somebody, and I think Dion has been instrumental in the growth of this team in all kinds of ways. So I think that's one of the reasons why this team has done better. Is the leadership inside the room is a lot more solid than it used to be from my point of view.
Is it Lazar and Chris Neil that will not dress for tonight's game?
Correct.
As a guy from afar, when you saw the trade happen, did you go, they just traded the Leafs captain to the Oilers?
No, I didn't. I'll be honest. I didn't make it an Ontario thing. It for me it was more okay. I think Ottawa's doing something to show that they want to win. They want to change things. They want to grow. And for me, I always say it. I'm not a big stats guy. I'm more of a intangibles. To me, intangibles matter. The people, the relationships, the chemistry, the leadership, that's where it's at. And when you make moves towards that, you're making the right moves, and you're bringing in good people that have an impact. And from afar, for me, it was, I think, the beginning of maturity, probably. Some maturity that was probably lacking. So I benefit from that. So I wasn't there last year when I saw it, but knowing after that I had a chance to get the job was something that I felt very positive about.
What do you want to see tonight that maybe you haven't seen the last couple of games?
Oh, very simple. We looked at, we've played terrific games against Tampa a short while ago, and same with Washington and Pittsburgh, and the one thing that was clear was our zone entries. The biggest thing. We've created tons of turnovers the last 2 games, especially in the first period at the other team's blue line, which resulted in us being below and chasing the opponent, coming back into our zone, giving them space, which is not our style. And D-zone after that, shots against, momentum for the opponent, scoring chances, wearing us down rather than wearing down the opponent. So that's some people look at analytics and, come up with all kinds of reasons why players are good, teams are doing well. But for me, zone entries is gigantic, because when you don't enter the zone with speed and you turn the puck over there, you can't defend against that. You're 3 forward, and sometimes your D is going on the attack. You turn it over, and then it creates what the opponent needs. It needs space. And then it creates momentum and enthusiasm and a wearing down process against you. And we have to be much, much better. When you look at the game against Washington, we weren't at the blue line. We weren't doing whatever. We weren't slowing down. We were charging right through, because we knew Washington doesn't give a lot of space. So basically, for me, we have been not good enough at the no space game the last 2 games, contrary to the good games that we've played where there was no space against Tampa, but we were smart with no space. We didn't on purpose try to create something out of nothing. And that's a big issue. I remember a few years back, and I look at New Jersey, and I go, how did those guys make the Stanley Cup Finals? And we looked at 2 of their games, and one game they had 0 turnovers at the other team's blue line. Maybe you don't know, but that's unheard of. And then the game after, they had 1. So it just showed you that it became a major habit of them not to give the opponent the chance to turn it over, transition, and create momentum and space for themselves. And when you play teams that have good forwards such as Eichel or the last game against St. Louis, that kills you. It kills everything. Kills your momentum, kills your offensive zone time, your wear down process, and so on. So that's what we have to do better, especially in those first 10 minutes, so that we have a better first period.
Maybe do a better job dictating the play, is what you're saying?
Well, it's for me, it's dictating the momentum. For me, the play is a result of the momentum that you increment every shift. And because you're in the other team's zone, they have to defend too much. And when they defend too much, they take penalties, they get shots against, you get confidence and momentum because you're the having the shots, not them, and so on. And you're not wasting all your energy trying to defend in your zone because you're in the other team's zone and you haven't given them space. Any hockey player wants the space. Nobody wants to play the no space game where against Peter Angelo and Boucher and these gigantic defensemen. The reality is, as you move on in the season and in the playoffs, it is a no space game. Like, I remember a few years ago, we were looking at St. Louis, and there was 495 zone entries in that series, and there was 42 space entries out of 495. That means the entire series is based on how good you are without space, how you're going to manage that puck, and how you're willing to charge through that no space game. And we were experts at that, and that was our goal at the beginning of the year. And the last games, we got away from that. Is it because we lack respect for the opponent, which we had against Tampa because they're high-skilled forwards, because of Washington, because of Pittsburgh and Crosby and all these guys? You're scared to turn it over because you know it's going to be in the back of your net. And maybe we lack respect towards the opponent, maybe, in the last 2 games because we thought that we were better, and we can't have that happen. So at least we'd give ourselves a chance by not turning it over to the blue line.
And there's an possibility for Saturday?
Sorry?
And there's an possibility for Saturday?
Every day is a possibility. I'll be honest with you. Right now, I'm waiting for the green light. And the green light will come from him and the goalie coach.